to show you what the banners say.
Show me what the banners say?
Yeah.
All right, you want to show me what the banners say real quick? We can
Yeah.
take a quick look at that.
Thank you.
All right.
And I think there's something about handing things out. That might be a problem.
Yeah, that's soliciting.
So I'm just putting that there. But this is the flat Earth map. The North Pole's in the center, and Antarctica goes around the outside. This is the UN logo. They don't put Antarctica on there because they don't want you to know. So they put the leaf, the branches.
Okay. Okay. One thing I do have to tell you, just so you know, our interaction is being audio recorded. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just gotta let
That's
you know
fine.
that. Okay.
But see, there's the curvature formula, and they never teach you that in school.
Okay.
Because they don't want you to know that you can see 60 miles when you shouldn't be able to. That should all be hidden. Chicago across Lake Michigan. When you look up in the sky, you see crepuscular rays. They go out at an angle. They all point to the sun. And look, they're coming up.
Right.
The sun is in there somewhere. And we don't really know exactly what height it is.
Okay.
But we know it's smaller and it's closer. And you have to study perspective. It teaches you how your eyes work. And that took me like 2 weeks really looking at that to figure that out. And what you're seeing, I mean, you know something is smaller in the distance, but as it applies to clouds, see, like somebody will say, I can see the ships going over the curve. Okay, if you can see the ship go over the curve, then you should be able to see the clouds go over the curve and then eventually see the bottom of the cloud. That never happens because it's perspective. It goes to a vanishing point.
Okay.
Okay?
Interesting.
Here you go. The sun reflects on a flat surface. Goes right on the table, the same reflection. If it was a curved, it would be a dot. But if it's on a flat surface, it goes in a line. That's how you know. So you can go to the shore or wherever, and we had these banners down in Ocean City, June 3rd. We were on the boardwalk, and we're going to go back there in July.
Okay.
But this is truth. This is all truth. How water works. This is physics. How flight paths work, and all these numbered blocks correspond with this video.
Okay.
But I added in a few more blocks. The other side is different. It shows you how NASA is lying to us. And it also talks about gravity. Gravity is one of those buzzwords they think, okay, we'll just say it's gravity, and then everybody will shut up because you can't define gravity. Even that Neil deGrasse Tyson says, we don't know what it is.
Okay.
So I think it's electromagnetism and diamagnetism. There's a magnetic force field that looks like a donut. It comes out of the middle, goes around like that. And that's what I kind of think our world is about. Because the electricity comes out of the North Pole, creates the aurora borealis when it excites the elements in the air.
Okay.
Okay, that's what the aurora borealis is. Then it goes around, and we believe it goes around because there's a dome, a solid dome up there.
Okay. Now I was told that the aurora borealis was positive charged ions in the atmosphere charged from the sun.
Electricity.
Right.
Electro. That's exactly what I said.
But you said it came from the center of the Earth?
It comes up out of the North Pole.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I believe. And
Okay.
that's where it is.
Yeah, title to your book.
That's where it is.
Okay.
NASA, when they set off a rocket,
Right.
it always curves. It goes right back into the Bermuda Triangle, the scary place you don't want to go. And anytime they don't want us to know something, they make it sound scary.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they make it sound scary, like Antarctica. Oh, it's like 100 degrees below zero, and you can't go there, you'll die. Well, now they got an Antarctic treaty in the 50s, after Admiral Byrd was there and lost some planes from crashing into something they couldn't see.
Okay.
Now they have an Antarctic treaty, 50 countries signed on to it, and it's protected militarily. You are not allowed to go there.
Is that right?
You pay $10,000, they will hold your hand and escort you. That's how it works down there.
Okay.
So, but all these books are being censored. Nobody wants to have these in the school, and they are all about how the Earth is flat, written by doctors and scientists. So, this is all well studied out. This is a kicker. You know those old things on the playground? You get on them and they spin them real fast,
Sure.
and then kids fly off.
Right.
Okay, that's centrifugal force.
Right.
Why don't we weigh less at the equator than we do in Alaska? There's centrifugal force. This thing is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, supposedly.
Right.
How come we don't weigh less at the equator? Up here at the pole, it spins. There's no centrifugal force. Down here, there's a
A
lot.
lot more. Sure. Okay.
So this is all science, and here's why. Here's scientific method. Here's why. Money, control, power. Eventually, they want to take over our whole world. You've heard of the New World Order. George Bush Sr. spoke about it in a speech. That's what they want.
All right. It's all interesting stuff.
It is. This is what NASA
Now,
puts on their website.
As far as the trailer goes.
So I have to have it attached to my vehicle? Where am I going to park
but
that
there's nowhere
then?
to park. Exactly.
So
that's
I'm
the
stuck.
issue.
So
Right. And
I have no option.
you would also, I think, need to apply for a permit to be out here
Well, I'm
dispensing
under religious
information in the
freedom of
park.
speech. And you know what? Atlantic City, they were caught in a legal battle over this.
Okay.
And Ocean City, when I contacted them, I said, I'm just contacting you as a courtesy because we're going to be out there. And they said, okay, well, just please don't inhibit any pedestrian traffic or anything like that.
Right.
And they were all aware of this kind of stuff. So
Okay.
that's, I'm not impeding anybody here, and I'm sitting over there, and if they have questions, I can talk to them, but I'm only going to be here an hour or two. I was here before, and nobody complained, and I was
right?
here for several hours. But that woman said I was a blight,
Okay.
Well, you have to understand people can have their opinions, and that's okay.
and so can I.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, how does this fall under religious freedom of speech?
Because it supports the biblical text.
Okay.
See, and that's what they're trying to destroy. If they can destroy the authority, the true authority, then they can do whatever they want. I mean, this is way above you guys. So,
Everything's way above any person on this planet.
well, see, I believe in that ultimate authority. But the guys who are in control, they run the central banks. And you know, the wars that we're having, it's all about installing a central bank in those countries. Gaddafi was a good guy. Did you hear about his river, man-made river out in the desert that he built? I mean, we're going over there. Our men are being lied to. They're shipping us over the Middle East. We're dying, we're killing, so they can install a central bank.
So you say this is above us. What do you think of Romans 13:4?
State that what it is.
It talks about the authorities by God given to people in power.
Right? That's
and
right.
Obeying.
Okay,
because
Romans 13. Okay, gotcha.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
our authority is vested by the powers upstairs.
yeah, and
So-
God gave the earth to Satan.
That's biblical text. Right?
Yes, and so what is our job on here? Just to be tortured? Is that what God sent us here, to be his children and just to be oppressed? No, it is our job to stand against that oppression. This is like a testing ground for us.
Sort of.
It is. It's a test. And this is my way of objecting to the corrupt powers. Okay. Just bringing truth and awareness. That's what I'm doing. I would encourage you guys to take some literature there and
No, absolutely not.
Look up
I
that
don't believe in any of this.
200 proofs.
But,
Earth is not a spinning
Like
ball.
I said, if it comes down to a disagreement, you have to understand people have their opinions, you have yours.
Yes, I do.
So you say you're telling truths.
Yeah.
What you're saying may be a falsehood to others. And you can't be angry or mad about that.
Oh, I never was.
You know, so just saying.
Is that what she said?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Because no, you have to have.
No, I'm just saying
some kind
you're
of-
presenting it as if you're presenting the truth. And like I said, I don't believe any of this, but it's your opinion,
Okay.
and that's okay.
Got you.
But
Well, you have to look
If it
into it to
becomes-
understand it.
Hey, how you doing?
if it was to become an issue to where
Right.
a
Oh, I'm
conversation
not going to be
turns into
decking
something
anybody.
else. No, even
No, I even have a permit to carry, and I'm not going to be shooting anybody. Don't worry. Yeah, the other side's different, buddy.
There you go.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're aware there's no firearms allowed in the park?
Okay, I don't have it.
Just letting you know.
Okay.
I don't want you to get in any trouble. Did Officer Slaughter get your info for our report?
Yes, sir, I think he did.
Excellent.
Have a good day, everybody.
Thanks. Did you ever hear of it before?
Yeah, I mean, it's all bullshit there. It's around.
You
So,
gotta,
I mean,
you gotta look into it, buddy. You gotta look at the evidence.
just one question.
No.
Take a plane in one direction, and take a plane in the other direction.
Yeah.
How come you can end up in the same spot?
Because it goes around the circle.
Like a globe?
Goes around the circle. Antarctica
These guys,
goes around the outside. See, a lot of people laugh, and I don't care. It's not meant for them.
Can't reach everybody. There are other people who do agree with you.
Yes, a lot. Actually, it's growing. The numbers are really growing. We had our first conference last November in Raleigh, North Carolina. This one this year is in Denver. So, yeah, it's growing. There's a large group over in the UK.
I guess what's the...
I have no options to look it up and park. So,
Farmer's soliciting permit. She's not soliciting business, but she's giving out information. This Palmer Township soliciting permit. Is that an issue?
I don't think it's a soliciting thing because down Evansburg Park they said, oh yeah, you can park here. You just can't put signs on the windows. What did he say?
It's a state park.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a
so
township.
township is not under the religious freedom of speech.
Well, they have more restrictions. The smaller the government gets, the more restrictions can be imposed. You know, federal, state, local,
Yeah, but you're
municipal.
still under religious freedom of speech, so you can't prevent me from coming here.
Well, we can prevent the trailer from being here if we can order it.
Well, then I'd have to put it on the stands and then just wheel it around. I have stands for it, like we go down to Ocean City and do. Framework. So if you want to give me a list of guidelines, that's fine.
But they're all on the township website. It's info. You can go in there. they
Yeah,
have
but
all
I'm
the
not paying
regulations.
$30 for a permit.
Well, no, I'm just saying, if you want the guidelines, they're all, like I said, on the website. They
Yeah,
have
but
all
then
the
it says,
regulations in the
it's
township
what
and
it says.
everything.
It probably says on there, no displays, no this or that, you know. So what are you supposed to do?
Abide by the rules, maybe? I don't
No,
know.
that's not
That's
it.
all
No.
I can think
Not
of.
when they infringe.
Right.
When they infringe on the law. See, the only law in this country is the Constitution. Everything else is statute and regulation.
So what would you say to the fact that states have their own constitutions?
Yes, there's
Townships
nothing in
and
the state
municipalities
constitution
have
either.
constitutions. No, I'm just saying. Like
In fact,
I said, it
the
becomes
state
more
constitution
restrictive
has God
as it
mentioned in
gets
it, but
closer.
then regulations say you can't be saying God. I mean, so
Not aware of those regulations,
Yeah.
but again, we're just saying what we can
Is
and
it
can't do
registered?
here.
yeah.
Yeah,
it's
there's a tag
registered.
on it.
Boy, you guys.
I'm just asking.
Well, don't be tough. You don't
No,
have to
we-
be
I'm
tough
being,
with
I'm,
me.
I'm not being tough. I asked my officer if it's registered.
You have to understand
I'm
the
asking you,
people we
I
come in contact. We have to check and make sure because in certain situations, it's not registered, it's not inspected. So we have to
That's
check
fine.
and make sure. That's all. That's our job. That's what we have to do. We have to check and make sure people are abiding by the regulations. Other than that, it would be anarchy. Would you agree with that? If there was no checks and balances. and
Well,
people
I think
checking?
there might be a little less corruption too.
If what?
If the people were allowed to do certain things, then they could hold the political people accountable. And
Think so?
yeah, I think there's too many regulations that prevent that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, I think
Is it
so.
that corrupt?
I think it is.
Okay.
If you, okay, just take for a second, like take out of the box here, okay? That's true. Just think for a second, that's true.
Okay.
And all our schools are teaching spinning ball. You wouldn't say that was corrupt.
I mean, there's a ton of things you can throw
Now,
out there.
now
that
why?
If
You know
maybe
why
it's
they
true.
do this? For money, control, power. They want our land, our resources. Okay? That's where this is headed. This is all headed towards, like George Bush said, the New World Order.
Okay.
Okay? And our job as Christians is to speak out and make everyone aware. And maybe forestall that, prevent it. I don't know. It doesn't say you're going to be able to prevent it, but the people who are supposed to know will know. And they can protect themselves.
Okay. So back to the trailer.
Yeah, what about
That's
it?
why we're here. What are we gonna do about it?
Well, I don't know. You don't have a parking spot for me to park. And I'm allowed to drive in here with a trailer. I mean, everybody does. Landscapers, everybody. So what are you going to do?
The purpose of business.
I could just back up my car here and have two in one spot. Would that be okay? It might stick out 2 feet. It's a small car. I could park this way.
Yeah, then we have people complaining about
Yeah.
parking and taking up two
Yeah.
places. People always find things to.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't mind
inform us
backing
about.
up here and having me.
How long do you have planned on being here?
Oh, I just come for a couple hours. I get tired, you know. I was here before, and you know, some people saying, "Hey, yeah, that's cool," you know.
Well, listen, I mean, there's nothing in our guidelines that says you can't be here.
Yeah.
Looking at the ordinance right now.
Thank you for being honest.
The only thing is, if it does become annoying, we can ask you to leave.
Okay,
So
well,
if we get, and I mean by annoying, if we get multiple calls about it, then that would be annoying.
so when she goes and calls all her friends and says, "Make a phone
Well,
call,"
I don't expect her to do that.
she called me a blight,
What?
a blight, like a sore, you know, like
More people call it blight.
yeah. Well, I don't.
But where's your car at?
Right there. Should I back up and hook it up? I'm fine with that.
Well, then you're taking up the
Yeah.
traffic light.
All right.
So,
Okay. You guys are town Menson? Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So, again, I mean, no, we're not going to stop you from.
Yeah. I don't call anybody
As
names.
long as nothing's abusive on the sign.
If they look curious
Anything
and I
abusive,
say,
cursive, or
I can
anything,
answer
or-
your questions, that's all. You know, I don't really.
Is there anything that?
No, but I mean, it's easily some things on there that could upset people. So
Is it
Like
disorderly?
what? Like what?
come on over, I'll show you.
Like what?
Lies taught to our children. So
Yes.
you're saying that the government are liars and they're lying
You
to our
don't think the
kids.
government ever lies to us?
I think that we're privy to certain info, but
Yeah, and that's,
Again.
you know what?
that can upset people. Do you now you want other people to be open-minded about your point of view? Can you be open-minded enough to understand that some people may be upset
Oh,
that
sure.
they're saying the
Yeah.
government is telling
My
lies to our
cousin,
children?
who's a teacher, unfriended me on Facebook.
So okay, you can
Yeah,
understand.
I understand
So
that.
it's
I
not
understand.
that surprising when I point that out that can be
No,
upsetting.
no, that's
okay.
true.
All right.
Okay.
So the earth is flat, huh?
I believe so, sir.
Okay.
I've researched it 2.5 years.
A lot of research.
It is. And if you're so inclined,
So what do we?
take
Can I ask
one
you?
of those.
What do we see from space, though?
There is no outer space.
No outer space.
Because you can't have a vacuum and atmos. We don't call it atmosphere anymore.
Okay.
But you can't have a vacuum and atmos without a physical barrier. It's
Okay.
totally impossible.
So the videos we see from like the space shuttle and stuff like that, how do you?
They're all CGI.
Okay.
And look, they do them in a swimming pool. This is how they do their spacewalks. We have something called bubbles in space. We have bubbles going up the astronaut's helmet. How does that happen?
Now, we've been seeing videos of the Earth from outer space long before CGI existed. Right? CGI's only been around for what, 10 years?
Videos from outer space. The first one they did was out of the window of, what, Apollo, was it?
It wasn't Apollo. The first one that circumvented the Earth, that was...
Oh, no,
Forward.
you can't say that. They can just
That's
tell
right,
you.
that's right.
They just tell you. We have undersea cables for communications. We don't have satellites up there.
To the SR-71 pilot who's been high enough to see all that.
Well, I would say
You know the SR-71 is?
it's at a high flying, like a U-2 plane.
Yeah.
Okay.
What would you say to that? To
Okay.
the person who's seen that?
Okay, the astronauts are all getting paid buco bucks. I don't know.
He's not an astronaut. He's a
I
pilot.
know, but this guy could
I don't
be
want to do that.
being paid off to say that because we have pilots in our group
They would lie to their family?
and who are
Is that it?
how much would it pay?
This
You
side.
know, yeah.
This side.
The people who will lie will do it to anybody. Did your mama tell you there was a Santa Claus?
She did.
Well, I always told my kids it was a fun game. You can play along, but it's not true. See, so
That's a good analogy.
we all tell our kids stuff. I don't know. You gotta figure it out.
Well, like I said, you're not selling alcohol. That's a good thing. You're not.
Oh
So
my gosh, I don't even drink.
I'm just saying that's a joke. But like I said, if it becomes offensive and it starts to become a real issue, then we're gonna ask you to leave. Okay, we have that right to do it.
Yeah.
You are a township.
If I'm
But-
not offensive to anybody,
No, I don't see any cursive on the side of it. I don't see anything that, you know.
And if I was
But
gay, hey, I could say I was gay and walk around here
like
naked.
Officer
and
would
it
say,
wouldn't
as
be
long as you
bad.
have an open mind when people approach you, or you know what,
Yeah.
don't approach anybody though.
No.
Okay,
If they stop,
if they ask,
I
that's
say
on
I
them.
can answer your questions, and they say, "Oh yeah." And so
Okay, that's all. So,
I'm low key.
you know,
Thanks, guys, for being really
Try.
nice.
we're open. Hey, we're open minded like you are. So,
Are you good? Look into it. Take one of my papers.
but
and-
I had to believe the Earth is round. I'm sorry,
Yeah, I know you have to, but
but I do believe it's round too. So,
you
not proof
believe
that.
in who?
I believe it's round.
I believe in
Right.
Santa Claus too.
Yeah.
Still good. Absolutely.
Easter bunny.
And Easter Bunny. Tooth right there. I lose teeth. I
Yeah.
guess, you know.
Okay, thanks, guys.
All
I'll
right,
only be
have a
here.
good
I'm gonna head on home in an hour or so, maybe for breakfast.
With the trailer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just don't
would-
listen. The only reason I'm asking that is
Yeah.
I don't want to get vandalized
No, I wouldn't leave it.
because you know what's going to happen. You're going to leave it and somebody's going to do something.
Yeah. Oh, sure. I would never do that.
All right. So,
Thank you.
well, good luck.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thanks.